The 905 is vast, skyscrapers to suburbs, and in elections past, its ridings of ping pong between parties. Decided not always on issues, but on leaders. Mississauga's Aaron DeCoste and Maple's Aaron Burke see it quite differently.
What I like about Trudeau is that when he came into the office, he made a very conscious choice to choose people in his cabinet that reflects their diversity. And he is making progressive changes.
I've perceived Justin's time in office to be more, as kind of a figurehead, and it's all nice and good, and we go around the world and we dance in India.
My first thing is no conservative. I think they represent a very narrow, middle class, typically white, usually male focused.
I kind of principally believe that there's like waste and there's abuse and so forth within the spending end of government, and why we're taxed that way and where those tax dollars are allocated and how they're spent.
And Sophie was
There you have it. Along with personality is the question of affordability, as 905ers increasingly feel the financial squeeze.
It's everywhere. It's at the pump. It's at the grocery store. It's at it's from my paycheck. You're anywhere from 25 to 48% of your money, okay, is out the door to taxes before you get your check.
And there's a question being asked.
But am I any further ahead than I was 4 years ago? No.
I think we're good. I think we also come from a level of comfort that when you have governments that may cut subsidies to daycare, other things. I have insurance through my job. My husband has insurance. There's a lot of things that even if cuts are made, we're okay.
Individual incomes in the 905 vary widely. Oakville North's median much higher than Markham Thornhill's. Back when the Liberals were elected in 2015, the median for the region was around $34,000. 2 years later, that income was up 4.8%, though taxes were eating into slightly more of it, pulling that increase down to 4.6%.
And then on top of that, gas cost me more, and electricity cost me more, and water cost me more, and property taxes cost me more, and school cost me more, and clothes cost me more, and these cost me more.
This is also the land of commuters. Suburban 905ers spend an average 32 minutes to get to work by car, more than 60 if they use transit.
So now on top of all that, you want to give me the carbon tax when China and India make up 60% of global pollution? Like, how is me paying $3 more for a tank of gas going to impact that?
Aaron drives to work too and isn't convinced by the carbon tax either, but figures doing something is better than nothing. For her, across the spectrum of issues, it's not about cutting taxes, but about protecting programs.
But my point is that public education and healthcare under a conservative government always comes under attack because they view that as a liability, and they try to lure Canadians away with tax incentives for private schools or rebates for healthcare, rebates for education. And so definitely education and healthcare are my main concerns.
So affordability can mean different things to different people. For one, fighting waste and axing taxes, keeping programs intact, all under the umbrella of keeping life's costs manageable. David Common, CBC News in the 905.